Hello, everybody. Welcome to Technology Thursday. This is the series where we write code on stream. Today we are working on a Discord bot. And without further ado, let's get right to it. So, last week we left off with an issue. We had our Dougalbot JDA service, which was not working correctly. And I promised to come back and tell everybody what the deal is, right? So I went away and I did some research and I figured out what the problem was. And the problem was that I'm an idiot. Sorry, folks, that's just how it is. So in Spring, when you are using the at value annotation to inject values into an object from a configuration file, those values are not available until after the object has been built. And so you can't use those in the constructor. They don't have value yet. And so here we are. We have the init method annotated with the post construct annotation. And it now works. So when we give it a run, we see that the build is occurring. This takes a moment. And we should see the number 1 popping up now here in just a moment. There we go. There it is right there. So, this is good. Hey, Kitty! Welcome to the stream. Sorry, I'm going to have to shed this hoodie. I've been running around like a crazy person, and I'm now feeling a little warm. So, Kitty, I was just going through, I don't know if you saw it, but I found the issue from last week, and it was that I'm an idiot. So when using the at value annotation in Spring Boot, the values that you're injecting are not available until after construction of the object. And so we just had to add a quick post construct method, which takes place once the values are all available, and then boom, there we go. We're getting everything we need right there. So we now have our routing JDA handler, and the only thing we're doing with it right now is implementing the onReady event. So this fires off whenever the bot is connected to Discord and gives us some information. So one of the things we're getting immediately is this guild available count. So this is the list of Discord servers. Actually, let's go ahead and launch that. We're going to pop it over to another screen real quick because there we go. There we go. All right, here we are. So we've got our Dougal Zone General, which is looking good. We can see that Test Dougalbot is in fact online. I don't think I've got a way to hide that, so sorry, folks. So we'll leave that there to the side for now. And hey, Rob, how's it going? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I've actually I've been sitting in this chair at this computer writing code all day long, but now I'm going to do it again just for you guys. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, thank you, Kitty. I'm glad I solved the issue as well. It was it's one of those things that had I not been writing hours and hours and hours of code before my stream, my brain probably would have been, reasonably fit for catching that stupid mistake. But um, alas, it was not in that state, so I did not catch it. But so anyway, so this onReady event is great, but it's not super useful. So let's add a new event. We're going to take a look at the methods we can override. So we have on generic event. Honestly, I don't even know what that is. No idea. We're probably not going to deal with it because, we have more specific things as well. So we have on disconnect, on reconnect, on shutdown, all kinds of things managing users and their names and things like that. On user update online status, so I'm guessing that's when a user comes online, goes offline, etc. We can even see when a user is typing. So we have quite a lot ready to go. So what we're going to do is just take a look. One of these here will be on message received. It might be on guild message received or something like that. Oh yeah, here we go. On message received. So if we go ahead and implement that, we now have this event which can tell us some information. So let's start logging it. So log.info. Let's grab event. Get author. Let's get their name. Hey, thank you for the call out. I appreciate that, Rob. I should probably go ahead and switch my Discord to streamer mode right now. Just because that's one of those things that will prevent all those messages from popping up all over the place. There we go. All right, so we're going to log. Actually, we're going to go ahead and just grab a little thing like this. Why is this complaining about that? Ah, fuck it. We may need to add an F-bomb counter to the stream. What do you guys think? We've got the testicle counter on the other one. All right. And then we're going to add the event dot get message dot get content raw. That should work. So if we rebuild this, oh man, that's got to be hard if you're used to going out and visiting people right now. We've been we've been socially distanced at our house since the beginning, basically. Um, just because I've got a whole bunch of respiratory issues, and getting a respiratory infection is not ideal for that. But for those who are used to going out and about, having those restrictions come in again, it's got to be disruptive. I mean, not that COVID hasn't been disruptive to everybody this year. Everybody say hello to Wifey Dougals. I don't know if you can't see her on camera, but that's all right. All right, so now we have the on message received, which is printing out the author and the message. So I'm going to pop over to Discord real quick, and I'm going to say, let's see if we can see this message in console. And as you can see now, we've got here, Brenny Dougal says, let's see if we can see this message in console. So Dougalbot is able to read every single message that comes into the server in general. And so in order to do anything with that, we need to start figuring out what it is that makes a particular message noteworthy. So there are lots of ways we can do that. Oh yeah, I know. She didn't make a cam appearance. She was kind of right here. She would have needed to be. Oh Jesus, my camera's really got a narrow depth of field. Apparently, in terms of. All right, there we go. If she comes back, we might be able to see her that time. That's okay, but for the record, that's Wifey Dougals. Can't see it because it's so reflective. Alas. She married down. So now let's figure out how we want to deal with the messages themselves. Yeah, I have lots of nice photos. Here's a cute one. They're pretty cute. I make cute kids. It's my superpower. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so let's take a look at iDougalBot Handler. This is the interface that I've created so that we can implement classes that will do specific things. So one of the things that we're going to need to do is create a handle message method. Any handler is going to really need to handle that. So we're going to go ahead and toss the whole event into the method, because the event has all kinds of cool things that the handlers are going to need later. So the event has access to the message itself, the Discord server, which in terms of this library is called the guild, that the message was sent to, the channel that the message was sent to, which is actually important because if you want to send another message back to the same channel, you're going to need to use that. It also has an instance of the JDA, which is necessary if you want to, do lookups based upon information in the message. Got the author, the member, which is, members and users are different, but also the same. Very confusing. We do have some information about whether or not it's a webhook message. We can see the channel type, which is going to be either text or voice. I think. Let me double check that real quick. Oops. All right, so we've got category, group, private, store, text, unknown, or voice. All right. I don't know what half of those mean, but that's all right because that's what the JDA documentation is for. So the Dooglebot handler will have a message received handler. I think we also need to have... We're going to have a method that returns a list of strings. This is going to be get handled message regexes, or I'm not sure what the plural of regex is, but either way, every handler needs to return a list of regex patterns that it can handle. That way, rather than sending each message to every single handler, we can, let each handler tell us what it's capable of handling. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we need right off the bat. I think that's probably fine for now. So let's go ahead and add a new Java class. We're going to call this the temperature converter handle. Well, so what sets Dooglebot apart from all other bots is that I'm writing it. And so right now what it can do is absolutely nothing. But as we come up with things that we would like it to do, I have the ability to add those features at any time. And that's really what sets it apart. So that it's ours, any feature that we can think of, as long as our brains can break that problem down into small enough pieces to handle it, then we can make Dooglebot handle that problem. And honestly, hey, I see that, Jay Blake. Oh, he may not realize. I don't know if, hang on, I gotta check to see if he's actually in the stream at the moment. He is not. So let me just let him know that his words are being projected onto the screen. All right, so there we go. Brenny Dougal says, at everyone, anything you type in this Discord right now will be streamed live across the internet. Please behave yourselves. There we go. That's That's me being an old man. But that's what we do. So get back here so I can see this. Yes, it can do anything we want it to. The only limits are our ingenuity and potentially the amount of time it takes to implement things, right? Um, yeah. So really, anything else though is well within possibility. So let's go ahead and have our new handler implement the iDoughlebot handler interface and implement the methods. And what we're going to do for now is we're just going to say event.getChannel dot send message. I hear you. And this should be a queue. Yeah, it should be fine. And so, oh, hang on. Everybody, I gotta kill it. Stop. If event dot get author dot is bot. So let's go ahead and negate that. Add our braces. Okay, because if we didn't do this, we were going to get into the terrible situation of Doughlebot having a conversation with itself. It would, somebody would say something in Discord, and Doughlebot would respond with, "I hear you." And then Doughlebot would get notified that, it had said, "I hear you," and it would respond to "I hear you" with "I hear you." And this is what we call an infinite loop, folks. Keeps going until everybody in the world is dead. Not as a result of the infinite loop, but just because it's never going to end. All right, somebody want to give me a quick little ping and, hey, Kitty says that, and then we're just going to take a look real quick. Oh shit. Oh, wait, hold on. Folks, we forgot something major here. You know what that is? We created the handler, but then we never actually did anything with it. So we're going to just quickly say, this is not how we're going to do this in real life, but just for the sake of illustration. Actually, I could probably just... Yes, we're going to go back here real quick. We're going to add a second constructor that has nothing in it. And then we'll finally add a setter. Then we'll go ahead and call this a component. All right, in theory, when we restart this, hang on, which before we do that, we want to go ahead and actually make use of it. There we go. Okay, so now we can restart this. The Spring framework should automatically instantiate an instance of the temperature converter handler and inject it into our class. as a result of the auto-wired annotation on the setter. We'll see if that happens. I've not had quite enough caffeine today, if that's not evident from the rookie mistakes I've been making. But that's okay, because we're making rookie mistakes on stream so that everybody can learn from them. That's what I'm telling myself, at least. That all looks pretty good. And so if I just pop on over to Discord and I say, hello, oh, we've got a problem. Let's see what it is. Okay. Null pointer exception. Wop, wop, wop. So we'll just move this auto-wired from here up to here. And let's also make this a component. And let's try again. This is the thing with programming, folks. It's when you're tired, especially. It's a lot of trial and error. You know, you've got to have the knowledge of how the logic works. But ultimately, you know what? Sometimes it's just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. That's looking pretty good. All right, so let's pull it up. Let's pop it over. And let's oh shit. Now folks, here we go. We're getting another null? Yeah, we're getting another null pointer exception. Heckles, yes, Lamau, hi. I like it. Okay, so let's here's what we're gonna do for now. We're just gonna fucking skip it. How's that sound, folks? I guarantee you this is just a side effect of the fact that I've been sitting at this desk writing code for, you know, no, 8 or 9 hours already. And my brain is pretty poorly connected at the moment. All right. Actually, we're going to add a different startup run configuration here in a moment, because this one takes forever, and we don't actually need to build the front end for this at the moment. I mean, it is building and it's likely working, but we don't really care. Yes, so I've got some wires crossing. I think the wires that are crossing are in my brain, which is okay, right? That's not a big deal. Oh, wait, shit, I don't need to stop and rerun that. What the hell is wrong with me? There we go. All right. So now we've got our message coming in and the response from Dougalbot. Hello. So now let's make things a little bit more interesting. So our temperature converter needs to be able to handle, two different types of messages. We need to convert from Fahrenheit to Celsius, and then from Celsius to Fahrenheit. So let's write some regular expressions. Oh shit. I don't know why I've got list.strings. It needs to be list of string. This is complaining about something. I've messed that up here as well. Sorry, folks. My brain's just not connected. Okay, so we need the beginning bang. We need C2F. And then we're going to say minus question mark. So, that's the optional negative sign. And then we're going to say /D. This needs to be 1 to 3. I don't think we're going to convert anything larger than that. And that should be it. That should be it. Now, why is it complaining? Ah, yes, illegal escape character. There we go. I normally do my registries somewhere else, and paste them in. And then F2C. Now, with that said, we need to make sure that these make sense, right? Because I just kind of wrote those off the top of my head. Yeah, so no, I think the short circuiting in my brain has already happened, Jay Blake. I think it happened many hours ago. But that's all right because these things happen. Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. That's 2020 for you. Full of shortened circuits. So let's come into our routing JDA handler. We're going to grab our list of registries. So we're going to say all right, so what we're doing now is we're basically taking this list of regex strings, and we want to ensure that before the message is handled by this handler, it's going to be one that matches. Yeah, no joke. It's going to be one that matches what the handler has told us it can handle. So we're going to say all right, so we're creating a Lambda function here. This is some of the more functional programming stuff that's been added to the Java language since Java 9, I think. Java 8, maybe. I don't know. It's been a while. But so basically, this function is going to loop through every string in the handled message regexes. And then for each of them, it's going to execute this function with regex being the regex in question passed in. So we're going to say if let's go ahead and extract this as a variable real quick. All right. So if raw message content dot matches regex, then we will have the temperature converter handler handle the message. And then let's just add an else, which makes no sense in production, but is great for right now. And we'll say log.info. It doesn't match. That looks pretty good. We're going to kill it. I'm going to go here for a moment. Not there. Here. We're going to run it this way because this will be a significantly faster startup time. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let me send a message to Discord. We're going to say, hello. It doesn't match. Now, it's a little weird that it sent that twice. Let's try that again. Okay, so we do have something going on with the actual Discord API. Oh, shit, no. It's not handling it twice. Derp. Just to prove that, we're going to add a log message here. But it's that it is checking both of the regexes, and it's not matching either of them. Derp. Sorry, folks. Insufficient caffeine exception. System will now shut down. Okay, so let's restart this. Should be much faster this time. Oh, yeah. All right, there we go. So, hello. It doesn't match. It doesn't match. But if we do C2F 100, it doesn't match, and I hear you. So we can see that after we do C2F 100, Dougalbot is in fact responding to it. So now let's make it do some stuff that's better. All right, we're gonna pop that over there for a minute. Let's swap over to a different window. Sorry, folks. I've got weird ways of working. Brandy Dougals works in mysterious ways. I'm mostly just hiding my desktop and anything that's not the project we're working on. All right. There we go. I had to open the old Dougalbot code because rather than implementing this, brand new. We're going to actually just copy and paste the old stuff in. So let's go into our temperature converter. Now this is simplified, right? So we've got, the way this regex works is we're checking for the beginning to be either C2F or F2C. We have an optional minus sign at the beginning of the temperature. And then we have between 1 and 3 digits. Now this doesn't handle decimal points or anything like that. So first things first, let's just copy the Big Daddy regex that we have in the original one. This actually handles decimal points and things like that, and is oh so very nice. And actually, we're going to do one other thing. We're going to go ahead and extract these to fields. So this is going to be C2F regex. And this is going to be F2C regex. And actually, let's go ahead and initialize those in the constructor. That's good. That way we know they're always initialized. So that's great. And then we're going to start copying code, because there's no need to reinvent the wheel. All right, so let's grab these messages, or these methods. Perfecto. All right, so here's what we're doing. We've got 3 methods here. We have extract unit from command, right? So we're double checking before we do anything else that the message matches one of the regexes. I don't know if that's a real word, but I keep using it, and I hope nobody minds. We're going to grab the string, which we know as a result of this format only has one space in it, and that is the space between the command and the digit. So we're going to split the string on spaces and grab element number 1, which in programming is actually the second element, right? Because in programming, arrays start with a first index of 0. So item 1 in the array is item 0. Not confusing at all. Not at all. It totally makes sense if you look at how binary works, but still, it's kind of a pain in the ass. And then we've got our two methods, right? So we're taking in the double of the temperature. And, oh wait, shit, why the fuck am I doing integer.parseInt here? We definitely want to do dot parse double. There. I had a bug in my code. There we go, folks. It's been resolved at this point. Yeah, so we can convert back and forth between Celsius and Fahrenheit. All right. So what we're going to do is just grab this shit and paste it in. And delete some stuff. And unfortunately, actually, I could change this from log to SLF for J. And that should all work now. There we go. Okay. So the default logging implementation it was providing didn't like that format, but we can change it, and now it all works. So I assume everybody's pretty confused right now because all I've done is just copy and paste a bunch of stuff. Hey, look at that. So I would like to welcome a special guest to the stream who doesn't have to talk if he doesn't want to. But for the first time in one of my coding streams, my little brother is watching. So hey, how's it going? So yeah, real quick, I'm gonna take a moment before I do this. I'm gonna drop an invite link for the Dougal Zone. To chat, because if you're in chat and you'd like to be a part of my Discord, you can. I mean, it's not exciting, right? It's not particularly active, but it's a place to call our own. And so there you go. And then also, I will, since I'm right here, go ahead and plug another fantastic place. Right here. I know most of you are actually in this Discord already, but that is the Wolf's Den. It's a great place. You should go there. Or you should not. It's really up to you. I don't have a horse in any race. So now that we've got our stuff all set up, let's restart and let's get some temperature conversion happening. So all we're doing is when each method comes in, we are just checking whether it matches the C2F regex or the F to C regex. And then we are extracting the temperature as a double from the content, converting it, and sending the message that way. Which it's worth noting is actually a string telling you what the actual temperature is. It's very straightforward. So let's give it a shot. So we're going to say F2C 150. And we can see that 150 degrees Fahrenheit equals 65.56 degrees Celsius. Let's try C2F 123.002. Let's see if it shits the bed. It's shitting the bed. So let's see why. We've got let's relaunch this in debug mode. So this is always a useful method of finding out where a bug in a program lives. So we're going to attach our debugger to the application. it'll take a minute to start up. But now, whenever we get, code execution, we can then create these breakpoints at which the application will actually stop processing. Let us take a look at the internals to see what's happening. So I'm going to copy and paste this again. And let's see what we've got. All right, so I've sent in the message C2F 123.002. And let's step forward one step, and we should see. That didn't work. That didn't actually move. All right, there we go. All right, so S is in fact 123.002. So that should jump up here next. String. All right, let's take a look at the temperature. Here we know we've got the double. That's all looking good. And let's move. Oh, well, that for some reason didn't. That wasn't as effective as I hoped it would be. So let's just try it again. Let's walk through it. I think Celsius is the actual thing we're looking for. (123 degrees equals 253.4 degrees Fahrenheit. So why is where's temperature? We must be rounding up. That must be what's happening. So let's just give that another go with a message with a better temperature. So let's do F2C 123.456. Actually, let's even make it 789. There we go. Yep, that's looking good. And then we want to see what the value of Fahrenheit is. Oh, well, shit. Sorry, folks. Okay, so it is, in fact, working. We've got our 123.79 degrees Fahrenheit equals 50.99 degrees Celsius. The problem was just simply a problem of rounding the number and making it look like an error when no error actually existed. So that is definitely something I can handle. All right, so questions, comments. What do you think, folks? We've got one working handler. Should we move on? Are we ready to move on? Got very mobile eyebrows. I am actually debating whether or not I want to continue tonight's stream just because I am exhausted. Just exhausted. And my brain is only about 6% working. So I'm going to give about, 45 seconds, give or take. And if nobody objects vehemently, then what I will do is I will wrap it up for the evening. Anybody? Anybody? Bueller, Bueller, Bueller. All right. Well, folks, I think we've reached a good stopping point for the night. I am tired as fuck. And so I am now. So, Jay Blake, you're pretty young. You may have never seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's a let's see, hang on, when did that movie come out? Oh, you're in an ad. Holy shit. 1986. Oof. That's pretty wild. So I was ooh, it was released in 87 actually. So I was 3 when it was released. Negative 15. Oh god, I'm old. I'm so old. All right, hang on. We're gonna find it. Ah, shit. I'm used to my normal browser, where it knows to go there. All right, there we go. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but it was Bueller, Bueller, Bueller. Yeah, it's all right. Hey, Hercules, I'm doing all right. Doing all right. We've been working on F. We've been working on Dougalbot. Here's some of the code for the temperature conversion, and things are going all right. How are you, buddy? We're actually getting ready to wrap up the stream because honestly, with the week I've had, followed by the day I've had, I just don't have the brain power to actually write any more code. I probably wrote, I don't know, 8 or 9 hours of code earlier today already, and I underestimated how broken my brain was going to be. So, well, let me talk through it, right? Because, like, all right, this bit, this bit is baffling even to programmers, right? Unless they've got their regular expression hat on, which is the thing. But regex is actually really cool. So let's do a quick little mini lesson. So we're going to go to regexer.com. I love this website. This website gives us the ability to play. Pardon me. This website gives us the ability to play at will with regular expressions, which are honestly some of the most powerful tools in a software engineer's toolkit on my little Batman belt, right? So let's say that we've got. I'm going to make a list of valid. Yeah, I don't think he is. I think he stopped in, but then I think he's gone. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see him. That's all right. He's a busy guy, and of course, where he lives, it's still the middle of the workday, so he may have caught me while he was on his lunch break or something. Okay, so let's come up with some commands that we want to make sure that we catch with the temperature conversion. So first and foremost, we want to do F2C 10, C2F 10. Let's do F2C 2, right? So basically all of these are just temperature conversions we want to make sure we support. C2F4, right? So what I've done is I've got Fahrenheit to Celsius with a two-digit number, Celsius to Fahrenheit with a two-digit number, Fahrenheit to Celsius with a one-digit number, and then let's do the same with a three-digit number. Right? All we're doing is just building a list of cases that we want to be able to catch. Now, oh, shit. Sorry. Let's wrap it a little further. Let's say with one decimal, with two decimals, with three decimals, and then let's call this one negative 250. There we go. So we've got a variety of test cases now. So what we need to do is then build a way of determining whether or not all of these fit the pattern. So I'm also going to let's add some shit we don't want to match. So let's say K to L, right? Because we don't want to convert, I don't know, Kelvin to liters. That doesn't even make any fucking sense. And let's say we don't want to match that massive set of digits. We also don't want to match something that has a valid tag and something like that. We also want to make sure that we don't match anything with a double negative sign, because double negatives cancel themselves out. And then finally, we want to just not match garbage text. So what we want to do is write a regular expression that matches this and doesn't match this. So we've got some things at our command that can help us. So if we just enter a period, we see that every single, here, let me click so that unhighlights. Every single individual character in this list is highlighting because dot matches every character with the exception of the new line character. We can expand that, right? So if we want to come down to the quantifiers and alternation, we have A star, which matches the letter A as many times in a row as it can, A plus, which is one or more A's, and then A question mark, which is 0 or 1. So if we did dot star, we see that each of these is matching, right? Each line matches because it is 0 or more of any character, right? So that's the simplest regex you can write, and it matches everything. But really, that's not what we want. So let's first write this. All right. Every command that we're writing is going to start with an exclamation point. That's simple. It's low-hanging fruit. Next, we can, in order to write a regex that matches all of these, which is not one that, we necessarily want to use in the application, we can write CF inside of a matching group, right? Because we know that, when you click that, apparently it inserts it. When you put C and F inside that square bracket like that, you're saying match either one of these, right? And then we've got the number 2, which we want to match it exactly. And then we can just simply add another CF, right? So anything that starts with an exclamation point then has a C or an F followed by the number 2, and then a C or an F is going to work here, right? Next, we need a space. And optionally, a single minus sign, right? But we don't always want it there, so we're going to use the, where did it go? Yeah, the 0 or 1 question mark quantifier. All right, now we have some special character classes. We can use /W to match any word character, right? So that's going to be any letter in the alphabet. We have /D, which will match any digit, and then /S for any white space. So that's tab, space, or new line character. So what we really need now is we need, between 1 and 3 digits. And so we'll do /D, curly brackets, 1, 3, close curly bracket. And we can see now we're matching any of these top ones, but we're still matching here where we shouldn't be. So then we're going to add the optional decimal point character. Now, this is a little bit more tricky than you would think because the dot already represents any character. And so we can't just use it by itself. But luckily, we have the ability to escape it, right? So what you're saying is by putting a slash in front of it, we're saying pretend this isn't the dot as regex knows it, but actually we're saying this specific character. And so you can do the same thing if you want to match something that has the star character in it or something that has a slash character in it. So we're going to do a /dot, but now you'll see that we've lost all of these, right? These used to be a match, but now they're not because we're requiring the /dot. Now we can make it optional, and suddenly those come back. And so let's then add the optional post decimal characters. So /D 1 to 3. And to wrap it all up, we are going to put in the beginning of string character at the beginning and the end of string character at the end, and swap the flags so that this is a multi-line thing. And so we do have some things that are not working. That is because we need to make that optional as well. Let's see. We've still got one that's not working. Let's see if we can make this 0 and 3. There we go. All right, there we go. Yeah, well, so, all right, the thing is, I've been doing this a really long time. When I was in high school, back in the Stone Age, I had a Texas Instruments TI-85 calculator. And, bear in mind, this was mid-90s, right? Like 96, 97, that I was in high school. And I started programming then as a way of getting out of learning anything at school. Because, I mean, what's the point of learning things when you can make a computer know them for you? So, so your TI-83 Plus is a very small computer, and you're capable of writing programs on that in a language called TI Basic, which, is a pretty shitty language, right? But it's great for writing on a calculator. And so that's where I really started programming, was back in the mid-90s. And then I went through a phase where, don't judge me, but I went through a phase where I thought I was going to be a missionary, right? Like a Christian person who goes to other countries and, gives them aid in exchange for pretending to believe in Jesus or something. And so I started university as a double foreign language major, studying Spanish and German. And then I took a web design class as an elective and just remembered how much fun I had writing programs on my old calculator. And, I switched majors that semester to computer science and have never looked back. So I mean, this stuff's been embedded in my brain for a very long time. Longer than some people on the stream have been alive. So, it looks complicated, but it's been up here for a while, even if some of it's a bit rusty. That's the brain I'm talking about. My brain is a bit rusty, but some of the stuff in it is still okay. So anyway, that's a regular expression. It looks like gobbledygook, but it's really, it's just a pattern for describing, well, patterns. That's really all it is just a way of describing patterns. And there we go. I'm the guy who's crazy enough to know some of the shit off the top of my head, because I didn't date many girls when I was young. So there we go. That's it, folks. My brain is completely fried, and so I think I'm done. So between now and next week, I'm going to do some things. One, we've got our routing JDA handler, which is great, right? It's amazing, but I need it to do some things. I want to be able to automatically inject a copy of our temperature converter handler and any subsequent handlers that we create into this class, rather than instantiating them by hand like this. And I want to be able to do that because I want to, when I create a new handler, automatically have the program register it and make it available to this class, so that I don't have to do all kinds of like fiddly scaffolding code just to tie shit together. The Spring framework is capable of automating all of that for me. All I need to do is just, take a look at it when I'm not half asleep, and it should be good to go. We will be rating, yes. Hey, actually, Irk, if you don't mind, you wanna pick somebody for me, because the Here we go. The Twitch Studio beta that I'm using is not great for some things. I mean, it's simple enough to run on my computer without fucking everything up, in spite of it being on a Mac Mini. But what I can't do is I can't look and see who is around for rating. So if anybody wants to say anything else in Discord, now's your opportunity to have it show up on the screen. By the way. And I'm just going to drop that invite one more time. So this is, we've got the Dougal Zone. And then we've got the Wolf Pack. Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Wah, wah, wah. Oh yeah, okay. Let's do that. Let's. Oh shit. Okay. Okay, so I can just slash raid crispy nugget. All right, folks, thank you for coming by. I really appreciate it. And I hope you all have a fantastic evening and enjoy Crispy Nuggets content. I'll catch you next time. See ya.